Let's turn now to our own Yamiche Alcindor at the White House. Yamiche, we reported earlier on the president's forcing out his Attorney General, Jeff Sessions. We've been trying to understand what happened. What do you know from your reporting? Before I ask you about the election, what do you know from your reporting about the decision to ask the Attorney General to go?
Well, Jeff Sessions' firing was really a long time coming. President Trump, for months, was railing against Jeff Sessions. He really blamed Jeff Sessions for why a special counsel had been appointed to look at the president's campaign with connections with Russia. The president really looked at Jeff Sessions as someone who was a thorn on his side. He wanted to fire him for a long time. The one thing that was really surprising to White House aides that I talked to was the timing of when he announced that he had fired Jeff Sessions. He had that long press conference where he was talking to dozens of reporters, answering all sorts of questions, but he didn't break the news. He did say that he could fire anyone he wanted, but White House aides said they expected the president to talk about Jeff Sessions there, and he didn't do it, so he broke the news after.
So, Yamiche, let's talk about the election. We just heard the president in that report commenting on some ways that he might be able to work with Democrats, and then other ways where there could be a problem. What are you hearing learning from your reporting?
Well, the president embraced bipartisanship with a big caveat. He said, Democrats, I'll work with you if you don't investigate me. That's a big deal because Democrats are already signaling that they want to look at the president's tax returns, that they want to look at whether or not there was any sort of violation, any sort of obstruction of justice when he fired Jeff Sessions. So the president is already saying, hey, if you Democrats keep down this road, I'm not going to work with you. But he did say that on infrastructure, on health care, on trade, and on the environment, that he could maybe see himself working with Democrats and this, of course, newly Democratic-controlled House that's coming soon enough.
Finally, Yamiche, I want to ask you about something. You asked the president a question today at the news conference, and let's listen to just part of that.
On the campaign trail, you called yourself a nationalist. Some people saw that as emboldening white nationalists. Now people are also saying that the president.
That's such a racist
There
question.
are some people that say that now the Republican Party is seen as supporting white nationalists because of your rhetoric. What do you make of that?
I don't believe it. I don't know. Why do I have my highest poll numbers ever with African Americans? Why do I have among the highest poll numbers with African Americans? I mean, why do I have my highest poll numbers? That's such a racist question. Honestly, I mean, I know you have it written down. And
Yamiche?
It's a racist question.
Yamiche, tell us what was going on there.
Well, the president really, his tense relationship with the media was on full display in a rare way today. The president had been talking to other reporters and really railing against them. He called reporters rude, hostile, unfair. Those were reporters working with CNN, NBC, other networks. By the time I posed my question, the president had been pacing at the podium just moments before. He was already kind of hyped up and amped up and really frustrated with the media. And the president is on the defense because he doesn't like talking about his rhetoric. He doesn't like that there are some white nationalists who are supporting the president. But that question that I posed today was very timely because just today, Patrick Casey, a leader of Identity Europa, which the Southern Poverty Law Center says is part of the alt-right and white nationalist movement, tweeted that he was at the White House today. So as the president said that the question was racist, and he was literally having white nationalists at the White House. I've posed the question to Sarah Sanders, why was Patrick Casey here and who was he meeting with, who invited him? I haven't gotten a response from the White House yet, but that's a really, I think, something that people are looking at and are very concerned that there are white nationalists walking around the White House, as the president says that just asking about them is racist.
Well, you were doing your job as a reporter, and Yamiche Alcindor, we thank you.
Thanks, Judy.